Hey! Welcome to another Gravel on the Ground. ILOILO. As many of you already know, I absolutely loved ILOILO. I just can't say enough about it. And this isn't one of those channels where I just say all good things. I'm going to bring up bad things about ILOILO, and I especially tell you the cities where I just didn't really feel it or didn't like it. So like and subscribe if you want some actual information. I mean, I watched so many videos about travel before. I've been traveling for a long time, almost 50 countries, but before coming to the Philippines and Vietnam, which is this 3-month trip, I watched countless videos, and I had no idea after watching all those videos what these places were actually like. And some of them yes, some of them no. I guess ILOILO a little bit more so than some of the other places like Da Nang. I really feel like watching all of those videos taught me nothing. But ILOILO, a lot of the videos are very positive about that place, and I can see why. It's really about the people. The people there are fantastic. I never felt like they treated me like I'm so special that I'm, a foreigner, and, because there's not a lot of foreigners there. There are, a decent amount, but just enough to where you're not super special, but that you are a little different. And I liked that. I liked that mix of just feeling like I belonged there. Everybody just treated me like they treated everybody else, it felt like, for the most part. And I felt at home, and I really loved that. It's such what I'd like to say affordable luxury. I could afford to stay in the nicest part of ILOILO for a really reasonable rate. Now, for people from the Philippines, you would say I'm paying insane amounts of money. But when you realize that, it's $3,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment in California, where I'm from, so spending $800 a month for the nicest area in ILOILO is a no-brainer, right? I just really felt like I was, they say living like a king, but I mean, it just felt like, hey, everything is just the food and the apartment, and all of your expenses were just so much less that I could afford to go out and party with a bunch of friends, and you don't have to think about it. And you want to go out, say in California, that's hundreds of dollars, and this is not the case in the Philippines in general, but ILOILO especially. But yet you're going to get that level of fun, and even more so because everybody's so nice, and everybody's a lot nicer with a drink or two, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm not at the point in my life where I'm going to be going out clubbing every night, but I want you guys to know that if you are wanting to do something like that, there's so many choices, and you're going to meet lots of fun people, and you're going to have a good time. Just something that's very difficult to do in Western countries these days, which used to be the norm. Everything works, and for the most part, it's clean, the sidewalks are good. Whoever runs ILOILO takes care of that city, at least for right now. And it is very easy to get around. It does have traffic times, and this is true here in Baguio as well. If you're out on the road at 5 o'clock, then there's a good chance you're going to get stuck in traffic. But during the day or evening, it's really not bad. And you don't have that constant crazy sound unless you're on the main street of noise all the time. It's just so much calmer than you're going to find in like Cebu City or Manila or most of the other cities that I've run into in the Philippines or Vietnam. And the taxis, they're well known for not taking advantage of you, for actually putting the meter on and doing their thing, where that's just not true in most of Southeast Asia. You just expect to get ripped off unless you're using Grab. I would still use Grab. but you are able to do that. Just take a taxi, and that's pretty nice. Don't leave your phone in one or something like that, but especially at 5 o'clock in the morning. But other than that, I think you're in pretty good shape. I'd like to say it's the perfect size. And that's not, of course, not going to be true for everybody. Some people just love big cities, and some people like it really, really quiet. I don't think it's on either of those, but it's big enough to have everything that you would want. You know, all the restaurants, you could eat anything there. Big supermarkets, malls, it has everything. You've got nightclubs, you've got bars, you've got it's everything. But yet it's not huge. It's to me, it's just the right size, where you don't feel like you're in this crazy, hectic big city, but yet you have everything that you would want. This is completely different than what I just said. When I could say it feels local, but it's still easy for foreigners. And I'm saying that because, like, say, BGC maybe doesn't feel like the Philippines, and a lot of Filipinos say that's not the Philippines. I can understand why they'd say that, but I don't think they're going to say that about ILOILO. ILOILO feels like the Philippines, but it has a lot of the things that make Westerners comfortable. More sidewalks and cleaner, and having a lot of those different food options. It really does feel homey to me. And yes, if you're wondering if this is on one of my short lists to live permanently, absolutely. And if you look around at the people who live in the Philippines that have channels, a lot of them, ILOILO is on their short list. And the reason why they don't live there, a lot of them, and I'm going to get into the negatives now. Even though I glow when I think about ILOILO. I'd say Baguio and ILOILO are my two favorite places so far on my trip. But it does have some issues. One of them is you are kind of, in the middle of this land. It doesn't really have the destinations. Like, I'm not a big fan of Cebu City. But there are so many things outside of it that you can go to within a short distance of time, and you can see all these different sights, mountains and beaches and islands and all this sorts of thing, where ILOILO doesn't really feel like it has so many of those types of things. And I think that keeps a lot of people from moving there. It wouldn't keep me, but I can understand that. The airport is right. It's a great size of an airport, but it doesn't have the flights you're going to find in like a Cebu or in Manila, to where you could just go anywhere. Now, they do have some international flights now, and there's quite a bit of places that you can get around to. But if you want that to be your hub and you want to fly to all these other places, a lot of times you're going to have to go through Manila, and then you got to deal with that, which isn't a lot of fun. As far as it can be hot. Just like, and I love to walk. And so every day when you get up during the day, you don't really, many times you don't want to walk because it's so hot and you're just going to have to take a shower immediately. That can be, yes, you can just go through the mall. There's lots of little trailways, as I showed in one of my ILOILO videos. You can stay out of the heat for the most part, but I like to walk outside. Like here in Baguio, it's 10 a.m. right now. I could walk across the city and I would be fine. So there is that. Now, some people just love that kind of heat. It's hot and humid, and some people love it. I personally don't. So that's one of the only negative things I could say about ILOILO. That's really it. I have to struggle to find things that I don't like about ILOILO, but they are important. The heat is important. The being able to travel in and out is important. It's even worse here in Baguio. I had to take a bus to get here. Now imagine trying to have this as your hub and you're trying to travel around to everywhere. You know, this is an important thing to think about. It just depends. If you're on vacation, that's not an issue for you. A lot of people watch this channel from ILOILO, and or Philippines in general, and I just want to say I really, really appreciate ILOILO for everything that it's been for me. Absolutely fantastic time, and I'm very much looking forward to coming back, probably in less than a year. So thank you very much, and I will see you all in the next one. Love y'all.